culture of life. This is the Guadalupe Radio Network, radio for your soul.
Catholic radio played a huge part in my life in helping me understand the faith. It was like one of the biggest things, and I still listen all the time. I have the bumper sticker on my viola case. People see it and they're, oh, Catholic radio. It's the best thing ever. It changed my life. Catholic radio is amazing. Please support Catholic radio. It's just an amazing resource. So much you can learn there, so much inspiration to actually live out your faith. It's just incredible. I love Catholic radio.
The Guadalupe Radio Network, radio.
Hi, Julie Carrick here. I am delighted to be the host of We Sing Our Faith. This weekly program shares beautiful Catholic music and deep insights of many Catholic teachings. Join me on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock Central Time for We Sing Our Faith here on the Guadalupe Radio Network. Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock Central Time. We Sing Our Faith.
Are you a Catholic man looking to make a difference in your Catholic faith or seeking a brotherhood that upholds Catholic teaching and values? Join the Knights of Columbus today. You can join online at knights.net. That's KNIGHTS.net. By joining online, you'll have immediate access to many things, like the Knights of Columbus highly rated insurance program. Your Catholic family can be protected with life insurance, annuities, long-term care, and disability insurance products by a Catholic company. Experience the Catholic difference and join the Knights of Columbus online today. Knights.net.
Join Claritas's Catholic Men's Fellowship on Thursday, November 17th for a whiskey tasting, cured meat, cigars, and guest speaker Brett Atterbury of Heroic Media. Brett will share insights from his new book, Your Pro-Life Bottom Line, which applies basic business principles to the pro-life movement. The event is open to Catholic men aged 18 and older, and space is limited. Register now at claritas.page. That's claritas.page.
If you just experienced damages from the most recent severe weather,
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
And hello and welcome to this week's edition of Back to the Father here on the Guadalupe Radio Network social media sites. I am Dave Palmer, as Stan said, along with William Kirkendall and Sissel Anderson, who's having to do double duty. She's in the control room right now getting the show on the air. And I think Manny Ortiz is going to be joining us here in a moment as well. So sorry we didn't have a show last week. My stepfather passed away last Friday morning, and so needless to say, it was not a good day to come in and do shows. And so his name is Jim Brady. The funeral is going to be Monday, and if you'll pray for the repose of his soul, we'd be very grateful for that. But we're back. I think there's only going to be 3 more shows until between now and the end of the year. Remember that last year where it got very sparse at the end of the year, where just a lot going on with Thanksgiving and share-a-thons and all that. So I think it's today, and then it's the 9th of December, and then it's the 16th of December, and then I think we're done for the year. So anyways, we got to make it count while we can, okay? Here is the crew. Your mic's not on, by the way. Okay, there we go.
I knew that.
All right, so is that a turkey hat?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
I was thinking if you have to explain it, then maybe there's a problem.
Do you want to ask why there's a crown on my turkey chicken hat?
Yeah, why is there a crown?
Yeah,
on
why
your-
is there a crown?
Because my friend, Mr. Turkey here, has been chosen for a very special task this Thanksgiving. He just hasn't been told what it is yet.
He's been tasked for.
He's the special Thanksgiving turkey.
Okay.
He just doesn't know what that role
Does
is
that have
yet.
something to do with your family celebration or
No.
what?
No, well, yeah. He's kind of the main course. He just hasn't been.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Well, it's very appropriate
Thank
to
you.
wear the chicken
the
slash
thing-
turkey hat.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the audience can't see the crown. 'cause
Oh,
it's-
here's the
yeah,
crown.
there you go.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks.
William.
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm too big for the camera?
Yeah, too tall. Too tall.
tall.
Not
Too tall,
big.
yeah.
All right, that's William Kirkendall. He's our high school intern and all-around great guy, smart guy. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
All right, so the topic today on the program, in light of the fact that we are only 6 days away from Thanksgiving, is I thought that it would be nice to talk about the topics of thankfulness, gratitude, and ingratitude. And there are two questions in the Summa that fall under the category of justice in the Secundae. Questions 106 and 107 if you want to run to your Summa and check them out as you're watching. And one of them is about gratitude and thankfulness, and the other one is ingratitude, and falls under justice, and where Thomas is going through the Cardinal Virtues. And I have a few observations about this. I was on CDT this morning, and Joe asked me an interesting question related to this. Actually, a couple of them I thought that was funny. I'll share those as we go through the show. And if you are out there watching in social media land, we appreciate your comments and your feedback and your questions. So let us know you're out there. I know we've been a little unpredictable the last couple of weeks, but hopefully you just come every Friday at 1 o'clock and just see if just maybe we're actually doing a show today. So anyways, so thanks for joining us so much. So all right. So you actually had something related to this topic that your dad mentioned, or what is that?
Yeah, so he said something to contribute to the show today would be talking about how humility has a lot to do with gratefulness. Like being thankful for something is showing your humility, because if you're not grateful, you're kind of saying in a way, I'm more prideful because I can do this myself. I'm not asking and I'm not thanking, So it kind of, if you're not grateful, if you're not practicing that virtue, it can lead a little bit more to pride rather than humility.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Yeah, the pride is the beginning of all sin.
Right.
Covetousness is the root of all sin, like wanting stuff. And I think humility is kind of like the foundational virtue. Like without humility, it's kind of hard to have the other virtues.
Right.
I guess you could have fortitude without humility. You could withstand, things and without humility. But anyways, I got a cool graphic here. Do you see this one? It says give thanks. And like I said, 6 days away from Thanksgiving. And I'd like to kind of throw this out as an opening thing. What do you think the average person, because Thanksgiving is an American thing.
Right.
Other countries really don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But why does what does the average person think about Thanksgiving these days? Like what is the point? I'll give you my opinion, and you tell me if you disagree or not. I think the average person, it's just an opportunity to get together with family and have some great food, maybe watch a football game. It's family time. It's bonding. I don't know that the average person really connects it with the actual name of Thanksgiving. Like this is something I should be thankful. And if you think about the origin of it, like what we learned in school, at least I did, was the Pilgrims and the Indians sat down, back in the whatever century that would have been, and they're all getting along swimmingly and welcoming each other. And so I don't know what is what I mean. Do you know what is the origin of Thanksgiving, and what are we supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I
Don't be careful with these questions and how you answer them, because you might spoil trivia later. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
So I'm going to be giving away all your trivia questions,
I was gonna
right?
say, hang on a second.
So yeah, you're doing Thanksgiving trivia.
Yeah, no, but the whole point was to be thankful for the freedom that they had moving to America, the Puritans at the time.
Yeah. So it's not really it's not a traditional Catholic holiday. It is a Protestant holiday, but we all Christians, we all give thanks on that day. And we can always go over and visit family. We can always go watch that football game on Thursday night, Saturday, Monday evening, whenever they are. But I think, I guess like Cecil said, it's a Puritan holiday to be thankful for arriving in America and giving thanks.
I think, okay, so that's my first observation. The second one is, I think what we're going to find out from Aquinas is that he takes gratitude and ingratitude much more seriously than I think the average person does. Because
sure.
let's just say hypothetically, I had a child who was ungrateful, okay, and didn't say thanks a lot, and didn't really seem to appreciate the home we live in, or the cars we drive, or something like that. I think the average person would look at that child and say, they just don't have good manners. It's just it's kind of a character flaw. But Aquinas is going to take it a whole lot further and say, first of all, thankfulness is a virtue. And ingratitude is not only a sin, but could be a mortal sin.
Oh, wow.
Okay, under some considerations. And it's really fascinating because he takes it very seriously. And I think, I guess the thing that I would probably want to highlight the most in this hour is that we need to take gratitude much more seriously, because it could potentially land us in hell.
That's your thesis statement.
Yeah.
And here we go.
You could say that, yeah. And
Wow.
also, I think that, like I say, with parents, I think it's easy in a culture where we have so many material goods to become very spoiled and very ungrateful.
Yeah.
And I think that as parents, because it's kind of changed my whole parenting outlook and reading what Aquinas says, is it's not just like, you ought to have good manners. It's be like, you might need to go to confession.
It's more important.
Ooh.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to. I could give particular, situations, my family, but there's no reason to do that. But I think, it's not just a character flaw. It's not just something that, I wish you didn't say that or this. I think it's like, whoa, I think you just sinned there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, and I think another observation is I think Cecil is going to be kind of shining in this, because Cecil is actually a very generous person, and she likes to remember birthdays, and she likes to send thank you notes and that kind of stuff. So I think
thank you.
You're going to come out of this looking pretty good.
That's pretty fantastic, considering I'm wearing a chicken as a turkey hat today. I appreciate it.
Kind of balances out.
Yeah, I got to balance out here,
Balance out the chicken hat,
exactly.
Right? Let's see.
By the way, so Brooks is joining us, says happy early Thanksgiving. And then Adrian said that he just wrapped up an interview with Dr. Ribard, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, about gratitude, that's going to air on Thanksgiving for CDT.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah. So this morning we had some difficulties with the audio on CDT. But Joe asked some great questions. Sometimes I told you the one time Adrian asked me the question, I didn't answer it very well about a previous topic. But Joe was kind of like, because I said the same thing at the beginning of CDT. I said, this is, something that Thomas takes very seriously, gratitude and all that. And ingratitude can be a mortal sin and very sinful. And Joe said, well, yeah, but I think Aquinas is talking about that towards God. Right, not so much within interpersonal relationships, but more like if you're not grateful to God. But then, as I pointed out, I said, no, that's not the case. In both of these questions, and I'll show you a slide here in a moment. Aquinas is not talking about gratefulness towards God specifically. Now he ties it in with God, but he's talking primarily
person to person.
Person to person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. With your neighbors.
Yeah, and it's not. And then Joe was like leading in perfectly with all these questions, but he said like, also maybe to your parents in particular. But that's a whole different virtue. Is what we owe to God comes under the virtue of religion. Religion's actually a virtue. When we give due honor and reverence to God, that's called the virtue of religion. And when we give it to our parents or our country, it's called piety. And so that's a special form of gratefulness that we owe to our country and we owe to our parents. But Thomas makes the point of saying, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, this is different. This is a different kind of thing. The other thing that to keep in mind as we talk about this, which I think plays a part, as we'll see, is that in the Middle Ages, Aquinas would have said that usury is a sin, lending with interest. Okay, and that's going to play a part, because if I give you $100 and charge you $10 more, you may not have as much of an obligation to say thank you, right? Whereas if I gave you $100 and said, because you're in a bind and you're only going to have to pay me back $100, then I'm doing you a favor. But when a bank loans me,
So I don't have to thank my bank for my
Right.
car loan. Is what we're saying.
exactly. So, but
Good, because that's one card I forgot to send.
even Sissel forgot that one. But you see what I'm saying? It's a different thing, because if somebody's lending you money with interest, and again, it's all going to come out, because you have to think of the framework of back then. The only moral thing you could do would be to just give somebody something. You come to me and say, man, I want to start a new business. I need $5,000. And I say, okay, here's $5,000. You owe me gratitude, right?
Right.
But if I said, oh, here's $5,000, I'm going to be charging you 18% interest.
Wow. Brutal, man. Wow.
You're not going to be as inclined to.
Yeah, right. So anyways. And then what was the other? Oh yeah, the other thing Joe brought up on CDT this morning is he's like, well, what about if the person that gives you something is and I'm paraphrasing, but something like, what if the person's a real jerk? Do you have to thank the person? I don't know. Anyway, Adrian was there, so he might remember some of the others.
I would agree. Yeah,
Because it's about you, not them. Really, it's about your intentions.
Yeah. So anyways,
So there.
So that's the topic. And again, thanks for everybody who's watching. Appreciate your comments. Is there anything else before we get started here?
I don't think so. I think we're caught up right now.
All right, we're caught up. And any other introductory comments from the crew here?
The peanut gallery?
Don't think so.
Nope.
Okay.
I think
All
we're
right,
good.
so let's
Not
get
yet.
started. First slide, he says, whether thankfulness is a special virtue distinct from other virtues. All right, so this is where he's going to get into the fact that, no, we're not talking about specifically to God or to our parents. He says the nature of the debt to be paid must needs vary according to various causes, giving rise to the debt, yet so that the greater always includes the lesser. Now, you're probably thinking like, what the heck did he just read? Okay, so the cause of debt is found primarily and chiefly in God, in that he is the first principle of all our goods. So if I give you $100, you are not only thankful to me, but it also should redound to God.
Right.
Because God is the creator of all things, right? So most people don't think about that,
Right.
Like, your kid comes to you and says, oh, Mom, Dad, thank you for the nice house we live in. And they think they've done their duty, but they also should say, and God, thank you as well, right? Okay, secondarily, it is found in our Father because he is the proximate principle of our begetting and upbringing. Interesting that he didn't mention mother here. Okay, he will in a moment, but but Thomas would definitely say that we owe more to our father than our mother. Okay, that was maybe it was patriarchy, but it just is what how he taught in the Summa. Thirdly, it is found in the person that excels in dignity, from whom general favors proceed. So who do you think he's talking about? Somebody who excels in dignity.
So leaders and like country leaders or things like that? Is that what we're saying?
I would think,
Like
probably,
Like
Or
kings, queens, priests. Yeah, okay.
Bishops,
Yeah.
Pope,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
Somebody who has got great dignity. Okay, fourthly, it is found in a benefactor. Okay.
So like a car loan debt.
Well,
Or someone who gives
yeah, but again, no usury.
no
right?
usury.
Yeah,
Okay, so someone
somebody
who just lends some money.
gives you something.
Yeah.
Right. And when we think of benefactor in our industry, we think of people that give us donations, which I think would very, very much apply here, because nobody gives us a donation and says you need to pay back, with interest. They're just strictly giving us something, right? For Catholic Radio, from whom we have received particular and private favors, on account of which we are under particular obligation to him. Accordingly, since what we owe God or our Father or a person excelling in dignity is not the same as what we owe a benefactor from whom we have received some particular favor, it follows that after religion, whereby we pay God due worship, and piety, whereby we worship our parents, and then interesting word language, we worship our parents. That's what gets us in trouble with the Protestants. Because the language of we worship saints.
Every parent just jumped up in their chair and was like, yes, gonna show this to my kids tonight.
Yeah. Which is, this is kind of an aside, but I think it is definitely an aside, but I'm going to say it anyways. I've been doing some digging into the Mormon faith.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And this actually, again, it's an aside, but I think it's appropriate to say, is that the Mormons, and I actually ran into a Mormon gentleman that I befriended in Atlanta this week, and he writes for a paper in Salt Lake City, and I said, I got some questions about the Mormon faith. Well, the Mormons believe in what's called celestial marriage, okay, and I confirmed this with him. and he's actually going to send some Mormons over to my house because I said no.
Now you're officially on the list.
No, I said I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. And there's some personal reasons why I want to do this, but I won't get into that. But so the Mormons believe that marriage lasts after heaven. Okay, that I mean after you die. Okay, so
it lasts.
So after you die, you're still married to the person, and you continue to have relations. And you continue to have children.
Oh, my.
But these children...
Hopefully those childbearing pains aren't there.
And the children become your spirit children, and they worship you.
Wow.
Okay, so they... and so
I'll pass, thank you.
I asked this guy, nice guy. Most Mormons are nice people. They're friendly
Very
guys.
nice,
So I'm
yes.
not besmirching him, but I said, tell me about the celestial marriage thing, okay? I said, are you married? Yes. I said, are you going to become a god one day? And he said, well, maybe. And I said, well, what determines if you become a god? And he said, well, you have to, and these are not his words, but you have to jump through certain hoops, and you have to become certain level of righteousness and all that. So anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
In light of the fact that Thomas talks about us worshiping our parents, he means it clearly in a very different way.
Yeah.
So and Adrian kind of chimed in and said that worship to give someone what they are worth is kind of a definition. And apparently Anglicans say in their marriage ceremony, wife to husband and husband to wife, with my body, I thee worship. So.
Okay. And again, then that in our culture, people worship bodies in a whole different way.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about that.
So,
It's been very abused. It's been very abused.
Yeah, right.
Because
Okay.
technically that wouldn't be proper worship based on the definition of giving what they're worth, because that's not what they're giving, less than what they're worth, actually.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So somebody's been reading the Theology of the Body.
I actually have. But
Have you read the whole thing?
are you kidding? You know how big that book is? I'm taking it in tiny chunks
I
at a
don't
time.
understand the thing about it. Have you read the Theology of the Body?
I haven't. Not like the big one.
It's not like that big.
Well,
but
it's
people
more,
are like
it's not
blown
so
away.
much that it's big, I'd say. I mean, it's big, yeah, but I've read lots of big books. I think it's just simply that it's just so much to take in. So I take a lot of time and I
Right.
read over something like 5 times. And I'm like, nope, still don't get it. Let me go see
Yeah.
if there's some article on there written about this.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, I still don't get
Nothing
it.
has changed. And again, I did read it many years ago, and I enjoyed it, but I have never gone back to it. But of course, if you listen to Catholic radio for any 5-minute period, you're going to probably hear something about theology of the body because it's talked about quite often. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Boy, that was a couple of real tangential swings, wasn't it?
For sure.
That's back to the Father. What can we say? And now we're going back to the topic.
Back to the top.
We should have a little sound effect that Manny can play. It's like,
Okay,
back to the topic.
We worship.
Manny's like, wait, is there? No, you're good.
Hold on. What am I supposed to do here?
You're good. Don't worry. We're joking about it.
Okay, so then he's talking about
Poor Randy.
worshiping persons excelling in dignity, as Adrian said, giving them what they deserve. There's thankfulness or gratitude, whereby we give thanks to our benefactors, and it is distinct from the foregoing virtues, just as each of these is distinct from the one that precedes. Okay, so the point here is we're talking about a whole different thing. We're not talking about the God, thankfulness to God or to our parents or to people who excel in dignity. This is more of a kind of a lateral type of thanks. Okay, so we can do that. All right, so. All right, move on. You guys good?
I'm good.
Okay, so next one says whether a man is bound to give thanks to every benefactor. And I'd love to know, are we just talking about people who give us money or people who give us gifts? Are we talking about just...
I think people give you time and attention too, potentially.
Yeah, but that's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, because he's talking about how we have to return the gift.
Yeah, but if you
know?
think about it, okay, someone's in the hospital sick or at home bound and sick, and you just come over and spend time with them. Or
Yeah.
do acts of service maybe for them. That doesn't cost you any money, but it costs
Right.
you the time and the love and the care. And then when you have a bad day, they can do the same.
Right.
Yeah, and there's going to be a question, which I find is very interesting, where he says, do you have to repay more than what you got? Okay? So what do you think he's going to say about that? So if, in using your example, if I get sick and, William visits me in the hospital for 30 minutes, how do I repay that?
35 minutes, obviously.
I mean, then I go over to his house and spend 45 minutes? I mean, I don't know how you can always repay things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
Adrian's saying all benefactors, anyone who does something good for you.
okay, that's what he defines as a benefactor? Okay, well, let's keep going. Is a man bound to give thanks to every benefactor? Okay, he quotes 1 Thessalonians, in all things give thanks. He says, every effect turns naturally to its cause. Wherefore, Dionysius says that God turns all things to himself because he is the cause of all. So he keeps returning to God, even though this isn't specifically directly about God. For the effect must needs always be directed to the end of the agent. Now it is evident that a benefactor as such is cause of the beneficiary. Hence the natural order requires that he who has received a favor should, by repaying the favor, turn to his benefactor according to the mode of each. A man owes his benefactor as such honor and reverence, since the latter stands to him in the relation of principle, but accidentally he owes him assistance or support if he need it. Okay, so we have to give honor. We have to give, what was the other one? Reverence. Okay, so somebody, does something nice to us, gives us, something. We have to honor. We have to revere them and assist them if they need it. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. Don't look at the screen yet, okay? Whether a man is bound to repay a favor at once. So now he's saying, like, if William gives me $100, do I say thank you? Or like you get something in the mail, do you have to?
Well, it'd be kind of weird if he handed you $100 and you didn't say thank you.
Yeah, but what if it came back then? It might be delivered by like a delivery person or something.
Okay, yeah.
So are you bound to be like, send a thank you note right now, or can you wait a week or what?
I think it's better if you do it immediately because you're less likely to forget.
Right.
However, I totally have sent people thank you cards like a month or two after something, and I still send it. It's always in the back of my mind, like I need to send that card or I need to say thank you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll do, nowadays in modern age, I might send a text saying thank you, then do a formal thank you card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know.
I don't know if there's any proper.
Dana Nygaard. Okay, you may not know Dana. No. You remember Dana?
Of course I love
she's
Dana.
A counselor. She spoke at my mom's church and gave a little Bible study or something like that with some people. And she said that, and she's a marriage counselor, family counselor, and she said, and I think this is something I wish I had started this when our kids were really young, but she said that when you give like a child something, okay, like they say, Mom and Dad, can I have $10 to go to the movie, right? And you say, yeah, sure, here it is. She said, count to 5, and if they have not said thank you, take it back.
Ooh, snap.
And I kind of like.
I think that's
like
great.
that.
I do.
Yeah, because how quickly will those kids learn to say thank you immediately?
Right?
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I always love when the kid has taken something and the parent's like, what do you say? What do you say? What do you like?
What's the magic? No, the magic word is please. The magic word is please.
The magic word. Well, the other magic word.
That's thanks. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So do you have to pay at once? He says, just as in conferring a favor, 2 things are to be considered, namely the affection of the heart and the gift. So also must these things be considered in repayment of the favor. As regards the affection of the heart, repayment should be made at once. Wherefore, Seneca says, do you wish to repay a favor? Receive it graciously. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell, but he's basically saying, if Cecil gives me a gift for my birthday, in my heart, I must be grateful. Okay, but you're not going to know if I'm grateful in my heart.
You better be.
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking. Interesting.
Yeah.
And to receive it gracefully, is that what he said?
He said
that they're at the end, I think. He said.
Receive it graciously.
Graciously.
So that means, but if you're not, okay, as regards the gift, one ought to wait until such a time as will be convenient to the benefactor. In fact, if instead of choosing a convenient time, one wished to repay at once, favor for favor, it would not seem to be a virtuous, but a constrained repayment. It seems too forced. Okay, so William gives me a gift. Just say, "Hey, Dave, you're just an awesome guy. I'm so thankful for you." And then I'm like, "Oh, and here's a gift for you." It almost takes away from your gift.
It's kind of like one of those things where someone compliments you on your outfit or something, and then you're like, "I should return this compliment right now," and then you're like clearly scanning them and being like, "Nice." Hair bow.
I know. Yeah. And not only is it they don't think you're telling the truth, but it almost takes away from their compliment.
Yeah, because it makes it, you're making it like, oh, I have to find something I like about what you're wearing or how you look.
Right. I thought the funniest thing happened, speaking of what you just said, tangential conversation alert. I'm out at the red carpet event for The Chosen on Tuesday evening. And
Subtle drop.
and it was a cocktail attire, okay, which I was underdressed, but that's a whole other point. So, but there are these young, reporter ladies in very, very beautiful dresses, and they clearly were very, very, dressed up, and they made themselves look very beautiful. And I happened to be right next to a group of about 5 of them, right? And, I don't know, guys, dresses are dresses, and they may look different colors and all that, but we're not typically all that like, oh, I just love your dress, So this one lady from the Chosen set runs over to this group of 5 ladies, points to one of them, and she said, I just have to tell you, I think that is the most beautiful dress you look gorgeous, right? And I was just like, whoa, how interesting, I mean, which is great because she was being very honest, but the other 4 are like, what am I, chopped liver? I mean,
yeah, and then when she notices the other 4, she's like, y'all look good too. Yeah.
But she didn't even do that.
No,
I thought it was great because that one lady probably thought she's really being sincere.
Yeah.
Because she ran out of her way to come over and tell her that. She didn't say, you all look beautiful,
Right.
But she pointed that. I thought it was actually kind of cool. She's not saying the rest of you look horrible. She's just that's just the one dress that
you just don't look as good as her.
That really okay.
Adrian has a question. He goes, what if a benefactor does not want to be praised for the good, like when Jesus says not to tell anyone about his gifts, or like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand did?
Yeah. Well, then I think you would be honoring that person by not saying anything, right?
I think you'd say thank you in private, but just not ever bringing it up again, maybe, and just never going in there.
Yeah, we have one donor that, I won't use his name, but that for the GRN that I know he just doesn't like any attention. He doesn't want the calls and the gifts, and in fact, every time he donates, and he donates at a high level, he specifically says no gifts. Like don't. I mean, we normally send the CD, and he might be eligible to win the appreciation, but he's like, I don't want any of that stuff, right? And so to Adrian's point, I think you just have to honor that, and that's the way you're honoring him is by
not
doing anything.
Giving him gifts.
Yeah, right. So. All right, so, okay. For as Seneca observes, he that wishes to repay too soon is an unwilling debtor, and an unwilling debtor is ungrateful. And like in the example with the lady and the girl with the dress, I think if that young lady who had the dress on, to Sissel's point, had immediately said to that lady, and you look gorgeous.
Yeah, it's less sincere at that point.
It would have totally killed the moment. Yeah. Don't you agree? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I'll still try to say it anyway.
All right. So on we move. Okay, here it is. Whether the repayment of gratitude should surpass the favor received. Okay.
Oh, this is when we were talking about, does it need to be more? Ooh.
Does it need to be more than what you received? And again, keep usury in mind. There's no usury. So when people give a financial gift, they're only paying back what they got. I find this really interesting. I wonder if anybody
isn't there? Okay, hold on a second. My brain's kind of fried right now, but I'm trying to remember because it's Friday. I'm trying to remember if was there a Bible verse in the Old Testament talking about, like in the old law, about how to repay
I bet there was.
I want to say it was something like, I think it was sometimes said, again, old law, about when you repay, you have to repay it and some more.
Yeah.
I thought that was part of it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it would seem that, and Thomas is going to say that you have to do that, but he doesn't quote Scripture, which is at least not in this part. I'm not showing the whole article, so it might be, and you make me want to go back and check this.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find it now.
Okay, and maybe somebody out there listening, he says, gratitude regards the favor received according to the intention of the benefactor, who seems to be deserving of praise chiefly for having conferred the favor gratis without being bound to do so. Wherefore, the beneficiary is under a moral obligation to bestow something gratis in return. Now, he does not seem to bestow something gratis unless he exceeds the quantity of the favor received, because so long as he repays less or an equivalent, he would seem to do nothing gratis, but only to return what he has received. Therefore, gratitude always inclines, as far as possible, to pay back something more.
Interesting. That means that the next time they would it keep going though, or would that be the end of it?
Everybody keeps doing more and more.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you'll keep going. Hey, you all might be you might be repaying those favors and get places in life, but
yeah, I don't know. I just kind of have a hard time with this. I mean, it's like if I just say, hey, Sissel, you're a great employee here at GRN. I'm giving you $25 gift card to Chili's. And then the next week she's, oh, Dave, thanks for that Chili's gift card. Here's a
$26.
well, I was going to go a little higher than that, but here's $30 to whatever on the border. Or, I don't know it, but Oda, any comments out there? What are people saying?
Let's see.
Does not okay. I see Adrian's comment. Equal or more or just. Okay, Victor got that. That right. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So now,
does it have to be though when we're talking about this? Okay, because sometimes with money, it's pretty easy to be like, okay, you gave me $25, I'll give you $30. But with other things, that's a little bit harder to measure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, or what if I don't know.
Like you visited Diane this week. Diane's not well, and you visited her. How does she repay that? I mean, come over to your house and sit in your by your bedside for an hour? I mean, you can't repay certain things.
Yeah, also, what if I'm never in the hospital for her to visit for an hour too?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying she comes to your house.
Yeah, just comes to say hi.
She just kind of shows up in your bedroom.
And I'm like, my house isn't clean. Why'd you show up?
Yeah, so I think we definitely are dealing with a different age here. Like you're talking about middle ages. And I'm kind of having a hard time putting my head into
because we've gone so far down. From like 1200s to now, it's different.
So here's a quote that Adrian sent saying, when we confer benefits, we should not seek for applause, therefore, but when we receive benefits, we should praise our benefactors, even though they are unwilling to be praised. This is Cornelius Lapide. So
that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
good old Cornelius Lapide.
Adrian, next time you send quotes, please give me the pronunciation. So I don't have to keep trying to guess this.
See,
on
you're
the
not
air.
grateful for what Adrian just did. I mean, do you see he did something nice for you and you criticized him? I mean, are you not learning anything in this?
I'm learning nothing. I'm learning nothing.
You should have sent him another quote, an even better quote.
An even better quote with the pronunciation of the person's last name.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
So, all right, now we're going to get into ingratitude. Whether ingratitude is always a sin. Ingratitude is reckoned among other sins, where it is written, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, wicked. A debt of gratitude is a moral debt required by virtue. Now, a thing is sin from the fact as being contrary to virtue, wherefore it is evident that every ingratitude is a sin.
Ooh.
Okay? And I think about that sometime, even like in the workplace, I mean, we've got, I think we work for a good company. I really do. Mm-hmm. And how often do we send, hey, thanks for just being grateful for that, or grateful for, not to put you on the spot, that I'm sure you live in a nice house and you've got great parents and nice siblings and anyways, I just think we probably don't say thanks enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, for me at least, it's really easy to say thanks when you get something, but then you don't really. You kind of don't think about it again, or maybe you're thanking someone for something small that you got, maybe something, Christmas gift or whatever, but you're not really thanking other people for the big things, like your parents for giving you life, or your home, or all of
stuff
that.
that's all the time.
Yeah, like the big things.
If your grandma sent you $50 for your birthday, how would you respond? Would you send a card? Would you call her, text her? What would you do?
I almost always send cards when I get gifts.
Handwritten cards.
Handwritten cards, yeah. Most of the time, what I do first though is I usually send a text message or a call to someone when I get a gift, and immediately.
Because sometimes people want to know it arrived. You got to do that thing.
Exactly, yeah. And then I send the card after the text.
Yeah.
I have. So my goddaughter is, she's adopted, and she is being raised by a woman who's got those Southern manners down, right? Mm-hmm. And if I will take her out for an afternoon, I will talk to her after Mass, or we walk around a church event together, I will get a thank you card the next week written by her.
For being with her.
Just for spending time with her. She'll be like, thank you so much for coming to my house and seeing me. Thank you for driving me home. Thank you for taking me to get ice cream. Thank you, everything.
It's all written in the card.
It's written, and she draws a picture, and it's sent to me.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and actually, she has two sisters, and we'll get them from all three of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty amazing.
So she puts me to shame. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, gosh, if she puts you to shame, what about me? All right, so, okay, next one. Whether ingratitude is a special sin. Says various degrees corresponding in their order to the things required for gratitude. The first of these is to recognize the favor received. The second is to express one's appreciation and thanks. So I guess the first part is recognizing it internally. Like, hey, William just gave me a $25 gift card to Chili's. Okay, so that's the first one. Thank you, William. I appreciate that $25 gift card. And the third is to repay the favor at a suitable place and time according to one's means. So I don't know. I just think like it kind of takes away from what you did if the next week I say, oh, by the way, here's a $30 gift card to, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're like, man, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree it is.
Yeah, you got to just wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is ingratitude always a mortal sin? A man may be ungrateful in two ways. First, by mere omission, for instance, by failing to recognize the favor received or to express his appreciation of it or to pay something in return. And this is not always a mortal sin because the debt of gratitude requires a man to make a liberal return, which, however, he is not bound to do. I'm not quite sure what that means. Wherefore, if he fail to do so, he does not sin mortally. It is nevertheless a venial sin because it arises either from some kind of negligence or from some disinclination to virtue in him, and yet ingratitude of this kind may happen to be a mortal sin by reason either of inward contempt or of the kind of thing withheld, this being needful to the benefactor either simply or in some case of necessity. The inward contempt, I was thinking like if, I don't know, I've had this situation before where like somebody gets a birthday card and there's no money in it and it actually like is a negative, like because like maybe somebody, let's say grandma's been giving you,
regularly gives you money,
$50 every birthday, and when one year she sends you a birthday card, which is in and of itself a very nice thing, and you open it and you're waiting for that something to drop and it doesn't, and you actually become angry, and again I think that's what he's talking about. That might be a mortal sin. I mean, think about that.
Heck, if we started looking at the world a little bit more like that, something like that would be a mortal sin. That'd be
a game changer.
It would be a game changer.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. How much more grateful we would be.
Were you actually mad at, or like let's say you're expecting a 5% raise at work and you get a 3% raise, and actually you're getting a raise, but it actually gets you angry, it turns it like I think that is what he's talking about here, is that
when you in your
contempt.
head you've come up with this idea of what you think you deserve, and then quote unquote, and then what you get is not what you thought you should get, and so then you're angry and mad and
yeah. So,
instead of just being like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I even thought this.
Right.
Also,
right.
Adrian asked the question of what is meant by a special sin. When you say a special sin,
special sin means it's distinct from another sin. Like before, when we said gratitude is a special sin because it's not the same as religion or piety. Okay, so it means it's a unique sin in and of itself. It's not like bunched up with other sins. It's basically kind of like the same thing. It's something very, very unique and very different. Secondly, a man may be ungrateful because he not only omits to pay the debt of gratitude, but does the contrary. This again is sometimes mortal and sometimes venial. So if he not only omits to pay the debt, but the contrary. What does that mean? Like you steal from the person, or I'm not? Yes, someone gives you $10 and then you go into their. I don't know. I think exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, does St. Thomas Aquinas ever talk about in this at all or indicate? Because he's talking a lot about when you give something to someone, like, okay, money. You gave, maybe someone's in a hard patch, you give them a couple $100s. What if, like, you very much the person, kind of like we were talking about earlier, like maybe just whatever the person wants that's giving it to you. I've heard that it's sometimes better for like a friendship standpoint to like not make it a debt at all and just completely. Yeah. I personally will live by that rule. I just don't think that saying I'll lend you this money, you pay it back. I just think it's such a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
such
especially
a bad
with relatives.
idea.
I co-signed a loan for a very close relative one time. It just about almost destroyed our relationship because all of a sudden you're in a business relationship with a person, and then they don't make their payment, and you got to make the payment, and you get very upset. And and what if? Well, yeah, and I again, there's a lot more questions than answers, but what if I give $1,000 to a poor homeless person they can't pay me back.
Right.
And I know that comes up in one of the objectives and answers, but they can't pay me back.
Right.
So there has to be, and I will say, in my experience of giving money to poor people, they tend to be very, very grateful. I don't know that I've ever given money to a poor person when they're like, yeah, whatever. They are effusively grateful, and they're almost always religious. I mean, my experience. I mean, we have this tradition where we'll go downtown with my daughters and I, and we'll give out gift cards to McDonald's to homeless people, and it's some of the most beautiful things because these people are really, really grateful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless there's like severe mental issues, but if they have their cognition, they
and you will no idea whatever that happens or happens to that person or how it turns out for them, and if they're ever able to even consider you're never going to probably meet that person again. So that's very much where you just got to give, and they are probably from the bottom of their heart very thankful for it. So they're doing their part that they can.
Yeah. So
apparently, Adrian has had many homeless people get angry for not giving them enough. So Adrian has met not great.
Hey, Adrian is not meeting the nice homeless people like I am. Okay. How much is he giving them? Like a nickel or something? I mean, okay.
Look internally first. No.
Finally, whether favors should be withheld from the ungrateful. Okay. So if somebody is ungrateful. There are 2 points to be considered with regard to an ungrateful person. The first is what he deserves to suffer, and thus it is certain that he deserves to be deprived of our favor. The second is what ought his benefactor to do. For in the first place, he should not easily judge him to be ungrateful, since, as Seneca remarks, a man is often grateful although he repays not. Okay? Because perhaps he has not the means or the opportunity of repaying, which I think is exactly what I was just talking about. Secondly, he should be inclined to turn his ungratefulness into gratitude, and if he does not achieve this by being kind to him once, he may by being so a second time. If, however, the more he repeats his favors, the more ungrateful and evil the other becomes, he should cease from bestowing his favors upon him. Okay, so like all the gift cards that I've given to Sissel, and she never says thank you, and so I'm finally just like, you know what, I'm done, and all the things that I've bestowed upon people, I'm just like, no more. Okay, no, I'm kidding. So just a joke.
I was like, oops. And I'm going through my brain. I'm like, have I not said the thank you for?
No. So anyway, that's it. I thought that's kind of interesting. Doesn't it make you kind of think of things a little bit differently?
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does.
You're just gonna get that many more thank you cards. That was what I was trying to say.
From all the people that watch
from everyone.
this
well,
program.
we've been very polite in the comment section too. By the way, Adrian did send me the pronunciation of the gentleman. It's Cornelius Alapide.
Alapide. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he also said someone was begging and I had nothing, and I was like, all I have is a few coins. Do you want that? And they said yes, and I gave them like 10 pennies and a nickel, and they got mad. Oops. Well, you did try your best.
Maybe homeless people in Houston are not as friendly as homeless people in North Texas.
Ooh,
Maybe not.
shots fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I generally, if I have cash, I'll try to give that. But I also, as a woman by herself, I do have to be careful from time to time about when I choose to do these things. But I usually like to have, and I actually should probably put them together next week since we're in Thanksgiving week, homeless packages in my car where I can reach over and I'll have a few essential items and things like that, and some food and other things. So you can hand that.
I think that's a nice thing to have is, maybe a gift card or some, just some little food that you could give to them or something. Yeah. All right. Well, that is that. And we appreciate everybody participating in that and all the comments as well. So thanks for that. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we closed out the show. We had like severe weather going on. Yep. And we had this fun game going on.
Oh, yes.
And William and Sissel ended in a tie. And then I got a text from my wife saying my daughter was at school driving home. It was like
chaos.
It wasn't the time for me to be jacking around on the radio. So I had to abruptly abort the mission, right? But now we're going to have our overtime sudden death contest, okay?
Yep. But first, Manny, this is your verbal cue. It's that time of the show where we give Dave Summa to think about.
And he gives it right back.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even practice today.
So this is sudden death. The way it goes is I'll go to William first and then Sissel. And then if it's a second round, Sissel first, then William. You pick Old Testament, New Testament, and do you want easy, medium, or hard? And instead of going top to bottom, I'm going to go bottom to top so we don't repeat stuff.
All right.
And no whining and complaining if you think your question is too hard or too soft for the opponent, okay?
I feel like that was directed at anyone at all.
It was definitely directed at somebody. So, all right, William, Old Testament, New Testament, easy, medium, or hard? And just 1, 2, or 3 points, okay?
Okay. New Testament hard.
Whoa,
wow,
we just went
look at
straight
this.
for the throat.
So, New Testament, let's see. Okay, I've got to.
This will be grateful for everything you have and be grateful for getting this far.
Okay, so.
Don't complain.
Okay, so New Testament.
Yeah.
Okay, New Testament, difficult, from the bottom. What is the shortest verse in the Bible?
Oh. In the New Testament Bible.
Okay, this is New Testament trivia.
Okay.
Yeah, what is the short? Yeah, apparently the shortest verse in the Bible is from the New Testament. Okay, and okay, you don't have.
So I just need to. Do I just need to?
See, now
say what
you've
the verse
set up for Sissel to just do an easy one. Now, if you don't get this, then there'd be no.
I know
reason.
this one, and
Okay.
Adrian just said it too, but
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
Okay, shortest verse of the Bible. Do you know?
You don't have to say the reference. Just say what the verse is. Just so reference.
Yeah, like
okay.
what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Sissel's licking her chops.
I wish
She's about to ask for an easy question.
I wish I would have asked this one.
Claim victory.
Oh man.
So you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Blanking.
All right.
Can I say it?
Yes.
Jesus wept.
Okay.
And is it in John?
Gospel
Or
of
is it in
John, chapter
John,
11,
okay.
verse 35, Jesus wept. Okay, so now Sissel is in a very enviable position to take all the marbles here. She probably is going to pick an easy one because all she needs is 1 point. She's waited 2 weeks.
Watch as I end up getting it wrong, though. Like it's
Yeah.
some random thing that I just don't remember. So that's very likely.
Yeah.
I'll do New Testament. I guess easy because why not? Just try.
Okay, New Testament easy. Last question from the bottom. Where did Jesus go 40 days after his resurrection?
The desert. After his sorry, wait, that wasn't my answer. Sorry, I said 40
Wait
days.
a second.
Hey, that wasn't an answer. Officially
I
answered.
don't know.
Okay, so,
How do we know?
he went to what's the name of the flippin' place? Of course. Hold on a second.
Oh, we may be going in round number 2 here. Let me see. Don't look at the screen.
I'm
You're
looking
not
at the
allowed
screen.
to.
Shoot, what's the name of that flip? It's not mountain, is it? Or something mountain?
Are you actually answering, or
No,
you're not allowed to
I
ask
text.
me the answer?
Fine. I can't remember off the top of my head. Don't ask me why, but it's gone.
Okay. Remember, 40 days after his resurrection,
He had the ascension. I know.
So he
but
went
I
to
just don't-
heaven.
I thought you were talking about the place where he had the ascension.
No.
Come on.
Okay, you know what? I know that was kind of a tricky question.
That was a
Okay.
trick question.
Okay.
That was you gave Jesus wept.
Did I mention about don't complain about the questions?
Sorry, I'll go to confession.
All right, so you're up. New Testament, Old Testament, easy, medium, or hard?
Oh my goodness, gravy boats. Okay, I'm gonna go medium New Testament because apparently
Okay.
I feel like these are flops. but okay.
Medium. She's such a whiner. Okay. Now, after Jesus was crucified, who took his body down from the cross?
Joseph of Arimathea. Is that right? Joseph of Arimathea. Is that his last name? Where he's from? Yeah, something like that.
Joseph of Arimathea.
Arimathea.
Okay.
I could miss
Two
the syllable.
points. Now, this is getting interesting. 2 points for. So now you can't go easy. Or else, okay, so
medium
you
or
go
hard?
medium or hard. Okay.
Okay.
So what's
Old Testament medium.
Old Testament
I'm going to
medium?
do very specific penances and like
Okay.
fasting to
Old
not avoid
Testament
being
medium.
whiny during this segment.
Okay, Old Testament medium. What did Jacob give Joseph that sparked jealousy from his siblings?
Oh, you got to be kidding me. This is too easy. It was the
It's so easy, you don't know it. Oh, this is so easy. Oh,
the rainbow colored coat.
Yeah.
okay,
Very
a coat of many colors.
Coat of many colors.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay, so now we're back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So round 3.
Okay. Let's go. New Testament easy.
Oh, wow. Okay. New Testament easy because you know she misses the easy ones, right?
I'm just like so high above these things.
Okay. Did you say New Testament?
Yes.
Okay. New Testament easy. Okay. The last one. Okay. What day of the week did Jesus rise from the dead?
What day of the week? Oh, Sunday.
Okay. All right. Sissel, back to you. Back to the Sissel. Sissel, come on.
I'm really trying hard here.
Are you not reveling in the
New Testament medium.
Okay, for the win, right?
Oh boy.
Okay.
I hope so. This is getting so
Okay,
tiring.
New Testament medium. Okay.
Thanks, Manny.
Oh gosh,
What did
William, you're going down.
Don't say that. You like
okay.
answer was literally heaven,
Okay.
and I messed it up.
What was the name of the woman who washed Jesus's feet?
Oh, Mary.
Any-
Mary Magdalene.
All right.
Hey, Manny.
No, come on. Show
Should not
some-
have opened up all the sound effects for Manny.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
Hi.
All right.
That should have ended a long time ago.
Do you guys
really
want to do
bad.
that again next week?
Yes.
we should.
Or in 2 weeks.
in
Yeah. 3 weeks.
Next time.
weeks.
Next time.
We'll explain that in a moment.
Okay, so now we get to regular trivia for this round. William, you're up first.
All right. All right. You guys are gonna like this question, I think.
Well,
so
we'll be the judge of that.
all right. So the question is, what specifically am I doing for Thanksgiving?
What? That's not trivia.
Like the time that Dave asked me
That's-
on a Friday on a show we were pre-recording for Monday how my weekend was. Like
Oh, that was so funny. With all this time shifting.
I was so proud.
Okay, what are you doing
Yeah.
for
You're going to
Thanksgiving?
your grandma and grandma's
No.
house.
No.
You're going to your Aunt Carla's house.
Yes. You got it.
I thought you said I forgot they're the ones with the house that's big enough for everybody.
And you already told me that.
Yeah, you told us that last week.
Did I really?
You told both of us.
Yet you didn't remember. Okay,
That's
no
hysterical.
offense. Okay.
That was funny.
All right, Sissel,
Hello.
back to the Sissel.
Back to the Sissel. So as Dave says, I go for the easy trivia.
Yes, I don't.
Well, someone's got to do it. So I have some Thanksgiving questions. Some about the first Thanksgiving, some things about some traditions since then. So I'm just going to go back and forth. There's 8 questions. If we need a tiebreaker, I can pull one up. So we'll just go. We'll start with Dave.
Okay.
You know, age before beauty.
Okay.
That was
Thank you.
Hold on a second. I don't think I understood what I actually just said. My bad.
No.
Moving on. What year was the first Thanksgiving?
Exactly.
Yep.
What year? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Does anyone I want to know if anyone on YouTube
I can't even be like within 10 years. I'm gonna say 1673.
1673. I will let you do it within 10 years, by the way. I will allow you.
Am
So
I
is that-
within 10 years?
No. 1621.
Okay, I was within 50 years.
Yeah, sure.
I would have said 1620.
By the way,
Oh, really? You would have been within 10.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to rub it in, William, okay? That wasn't your question, okay?
to catch up with a couple of the comments,
Okay.
Victor says, "Who makes these questions about your Bible question?"
I just found it online.
Yeah. And then he also thought that you went hunting on Thanksgiving. And then Adrian says, trivia question, what's in my pocket? And Victor answered a rosary, and he was right.
Oh, wow.
So go
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
All right, go.
And
all right.
Victor said 1546, so
Yeah.
he would have been, what was it, 1521?
It was 1621.
Oh, 1621. Okay,
Yep,
well,
so
good. Victor was more
basically,
off than
no
I
one
was.
has any points right now. And care for your
Okay.
keeping track at home.
Okay.
All right. Where was it held? The first Thanksgiving,
Oh, this
William.
is so bad.
I'm trying to help William out here.
Apparently.
Where was the very first Thanksgiving held? Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. It was held at Plymouth. It starts Plymouth.
Plymouth headquarters of the
Wherever that
It's
is.
just Plymouth. I'll
Plymouth.
accept it.
Okay.
Plymouth.
Massachusetts.
Yep. He got it.
Plymouth, Massachusetts.
I just
Okay.
was going to accept Plymouth, but that
Was
works
were
too.
they on the Plymouth Rock?
Dave, you're going to
Yeah.
kill me.
that was like the easiest. Okay, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to stoop
He's not
to
going
that.
to. You're not going
that.
to go to my level.
Okay.
What
time did
What
the-
Native American tribe was part of the feast?
Well, the fact that you think it's so hard means I'm probably
No,
not
I
going
don't
to get
think.
it.
I think you know.
Navajo.
No,
Okay.
it is. I'm going to try to pronounce this as best of my ability. Wapanauga.
Okay.
Listen,
And
William doesn't often win.
What is the traditional food served at Thanksgiving as far as the meat?
I didn't set this up this way. These are just the order of the
No,
questions,
okay,
and
I
it just
gotcha.
happened.
No,
All right.
I'm not bitter.
He can't stoop. He really is, but he's just really trying not to, so he can't be like me. All right. William, what Native American man helped facilitate the first Thanksgiving? What was his name?
Oh,
I actually don't know this one.
I'm not
Oh,
going to know this
interesting.
either.
I have a guess. Can I steal?
You can guess, but you can't steal.
Are you done?
I'm done. Yeah, I have no idea.
Geronimo?
No.
Okay.
Squanto.
Squanto. Yeah, Geronimo was a different guy, right?
Yeah, I just think about like Geronimo. Anyhow, all right, sorry.
How's it go?
Geronimo?
No, like
Geronimo.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, never mind.
Okay, so it's
Geronimo was 1800s in Arizona.
Okay.
Wow, there you go. Okay, so the now, Dave. Prior to the first Thanksgiving, Squanto, this Native American man, was taken hostage by a English party led by Captain John Smith, Pocahontas fame, to England. Who was he rescued by in England?
The Indian guy?
Yeah.
Who's he rescued by?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this one?
No. I don't know.
William Wallace. I don't know.
I want to know if anyone else, if Adrian maybe knows
These
something
are
like that.
tough.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Man.
It is the Dominican friars. Dominican friars.
Oh, that ties in perfectly to this show.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they rescued him and they taught him the faith, and then they helped him get back to America, and that's when he started building.
It's just like teaching him the Summa.
Yeah, exactly. He was a Thomist.
Well, I mean, but the Summa would have been around.
So basically, he's the one who facilitated, the relations between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims, and so basically the first Thanksgiving was started by a Catholic.
Oh wow!
So there, it is a
I
Catholic
like that.
holiday.
Okay.
We'll take it back. Thank you very much.
Mic drop.
All right, William. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Don't say it.
What?
Oh, what city is it in?
Oh.
That's a kind of
I
question
wasn't
you
going
ask
to,
William.
but
Okay.
actually, that's a great question. Would you know what city it's in?
The
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I'd say New York City.
Yeah, that would be right, but that's not the question.
New York City.
So, what year did it start?
Oh.
Okay, I like this question.
Okay.
There's no way he's gonna get it.
The exact year. Okay. Well.
I'll give it within 2 years.
Okay. Cool. What year did it start? I'm gonna say
Okay, then I'll
it's got to be
guess.
sometime in the 20th century.
Oh, you got a century. What century did it start?
I'm gonna go with 1960.
And can I
Yeah,
guess too?
yeah, you can guess.
I'm gonna go earlier than that.
Okay.
Like probably was like after the war, so like 1945.
Okay.
You're both wrong. It was before the war. It was 1924.
Oh, okay. Well, after the first war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't specify, I guess, but you're both technically the year you gave was after.
Just give me a point then, anyways, because I mentioned something about a war.
Sure. Perfect. All right. Now, just so everyone's caught up at home, we are William 1, Dave 0.
Thanks for the
Okay,
reminder.
Dave, I'm going to let you I'll give you some margin of error here, but
Thank
how
you.
many turkeys do Americans eat over Thanksgiving on average every year? So this is an
Okay.
average estimation.
So there's about 360 million Americans. So you figure that everybody doesn't have their own turkey, and you're probably about one for every.
He's trying to do math here.
I don't know.
I'm
Like,
Also,
impressed.
I think it's 328 million.
Oh, 328.
Last
okay.
I checked, yeah.
Okay, so I'd say probably one turkey for every about 5 people or so. So I'm going to say 50 million turkeys.
50 million. I would guess higher.
It's higher than that?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
It is. Oh, I lost my page. Hang on a second, guys. 280 million.
Wow.
That's a lot of turkeys.
That's
That
almost
is a lot.
That's almost like a turkey a person. There's no way.
Well, some people have more than one turkey, or several turkeys.
I mean, turkeys are huge.
Yeah.
Depends.
I
You
know.
could get
It would
the-
take
you
me a
could-
month to
hey,
eat
hang
a
on a
whole
second. You
turkey.
could get baby turkeys.
Yeah.
Smaller turkeys. Sorry, that came out wrong.
No. Smallest turkey is like, what, 8 pounds or 10 pounds or
Yeah, but
something?
that only feeds a few people, a couple people. So a few people.
I don't know.
Couple
How,
people.
you
I'm
guys-
not really bad. I need a turkey calculator to do everything. Excuse me. All right. Okay. William, you could just win in a landslide, but if you don't get this right, I'm going to let Dave steal so you can at least tie it up.
All right.
Who was the first president to pardon a turkey? That is a tradition we do in the United States if you've not heard of it.
Okay.
Every Thanksgiving since a certain period. Now, I will say, he was the first one to do it. He was not the first one to make it the official tradition. That actually happened years later.
Okay.
And I also,
Okay.
just go for it. Do you have any idea, Dave?
No.
I will guess.
Victor's
Try-
guessing
trying to-
Ulysses Grant.
Trying to pick between two here.
Who are your two? I'm curious.
I'm gonna say it's either what's his name, Hoover or Woodrow Wilson, one of those.
Dave, do you have an answer to this?
I got to admit, I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. I got distracted. But can you ask the question again? I'm sorry.
Which president pardoned the very first
Oh,
turkey? Now,
first
again,
turkey.
not the official, became American tradition every single year, because that happened
Okay,
later.
okay.
But the first one to even pardon a turkey.
And you said Woodrow Wilson or who?
Or whoever his name, Hoover.
Yeah.
Oh, Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover.
I'm going to say Calvin Coolidge.
Y'all are all too early.
Okay.
It was actually
too early.
JFK.
Really?
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
apparently, the actual
1960s.
tradition
Okay.
of pardoning the turkey was started official.
By a Catholic.
Ronald Reagan was officially later on when they actually made
so
it
he
the official
started it up
ceremony.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's on record issuing a pardon to his turkey. Yeah. So,
Oh, interesting.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
You learn things.
who won?
William. William did. Not by a landslide, but he won.
No. What, 1-0?
By a point.
Yeah, 1-0.
Pointing. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. So here we go. To close out the show, we are going to be talking about how to say thanks in various languages.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So
I got this.
I'm
No, I
gonna,
don't.
and you might need a piece of paper. Do you
I
do y'all
have a piece of paper. Wait, do we have to spell it properly?
Well, so if one person spells it properly, well, let's just.
Do you see the horror on my face?
Yeah, let's just.
I think. Can I just say it?
Say what?
Say how you
Okay.
say some things.
Okay, so okay, for here, I'll do the more easy ones
Okay.
first. Okay,
Is it just first come first serve, or is it going back and forth?
Yeah, let's just say first come first serve.
Oh man.
And if you can't, well, let's just say you don't have to spell it. Okay, you just have to say it. How do you say thanks in French?
Merci.
Okay, just with a point.
Oh, I would be so bad. My mom grew up speaking French. That would have been bad.
How do you say thanks in Spanish?
Gracias.
Okay. William with a point. Okay.
No.
How do you say it in German?
Oh, danke.
Danke. Yes.
Hogan's Heroes. Thank you.
And how do you say it in Italian?
Grazie. Grazie.
Grazie. Yeah, very good. Okay.
Apparently I am a very thankful person,
Okay,
clearly.
now, let's see. Now, William, you're
If he says Korean, I'm getting it before you, Manny.
William, can you give him a yellow pad? Because now these are a lot more difficult. And so I want you to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, wait.
Manny's playing too, by the way.
Oh, Manny is. Okay. Write down these words real quickly, okay? Portuguese,
Okay.
Hindi or Indian, that's the same one.
Okay.
Chinese,
Oh, I can do this.
Arabic,
Oh, no, I can't do this.
Japanese,
Okay.
Thai,
I think I can do this. No,
Zulu,
oh, my gosh. Dave.
Navajo,
Where? I don't know where some of these countries...
Tongan. Okay. How many did I give you? Is that 9?
I don't know. 1, 2... Yes.
Okay. And add Persian.
Goodness.
Okay.
I don't even know where some of these countries that
Yeah,
these
I mean,
languages are
same.
spoken.
I only know
Same.
English, Spanish, and Korean. That's it.
Okay.
Can I say Korean? Because if you're not doing Korean, Manny and I, which is like a bonus
Yeah,
point.
I just
depends what version.
Okay, here's another
well,
one.
The more, I
Here's
guess the
another
most
one that
popular one.
that Paula
Kamsamnida.
Paula just
Yes,
sent me.
yeah.
Okay, this is one. Wait, let me Okay, I'm gonna add this one. Okay, hold on. Okay, and also do Dutch.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
Okay.
Adrian's saying that Latin and ancient Greek and Hebrew should be on this too. I think I could do Latin.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Wait, what was the last one you said to add? Dutch.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this for the next show?
Okay, we're gonna go quickly. Okay.
No.
So we're gonna go back and forth until somebody
say
gets
ding?
it.
Oh, just back and
Yeah,
forth.
back and forth. So William goes first. I'm just kind of trying to do them out. Okay, and then the first part, but you can't scream it out. Go back and forth until somebody gets it. Okay.
Wait, I'm so confused. Is it?
Okay, so let's say
Is only William answering it?
first.
Okay.
Okay, and then if he doesn't get it right, you get to guess.
Okay.
If you don't get it right, he gets a guess, and then we're done with that
Well,
one.
it's
okay?
when does Manny get to guess?
Oh, I'm sorry. And then Manny. Okay, so we'll go Sissel, William, Manny. Okay, I'm sorry, Manny. Okay, here we go. And then, okay, the first one for Sissel is arigato.
Oh, it's Japanese.
All right. Okay. So, so has a point. Okay. So
Japanese shows I watch. I watch a Japanese show for this moment, so I could.
Okay. So Sissel got that one. Okay. So William, Of course, eliminate Japanese on your list, okay?
Yeah.
Daniyavad. Daniyavad.
I'm going to go ahead with Persian.
Okay, no.
No.
Manny?
I would say Dutch.
Nope.
Say it again for me.
Daniyavad. Daniyavad.
Arabic?
No.
Oh, I think I have.
Okay, William?
Oh, I think I know what it might be now.
Zolo?
No.
No.
Oh, no, Zulu.
Zulu, yeah. Sorry.
No.
Tonga.
No.
Hindi?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, that's Hindi Indian. Diane would have gotten that one, I'm sure.
would've, yeah.
Definitely.
Don't wanna
Okay,
talk
so
about it.
Sissel has 2. Okay, now we go to William. Shukran. Shukran.
Persian?
No.
No.
Oh, I would say it sounds like Zulu.
Nope.
Ah.
Say it again, please.
Shukran.
Shukran.
Shukran. I probably should spell these. Shukran.
Nava?
Nope.
Oh,
It's Portuguese?
Nope.
Oh, gosh. Dutch.
No.
Tongan?
Nope.
What? What is this word?
It's not Arabic, is it?
It is.
It is?
Oh, interesting.
Say it again.
Interesting.
Say it again, please.
Shukran.
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 That does not sound Arabic at all. I don't know about anything in Arabic,
wow.
clearly, but I
Okay, so Manny, Gigi.
Oh, was that again?
Gigi, Xie.
Oh, I would say Zulu.
No.
Ah.
it's me. Chinese.
Chinese,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Gigi.
X-I. Yeah, I should have known that.
Okay. All
There's a lot
right.
of X's in
Yeah, there are.
Okay. William, we're down to our last, I think, 6 or 7 here.
Okay.
Kaupkun. Khaawp.
Sounds like cow. Not gonna lie.
Khun.
I know that one.
Kaupkun.
Is it Dutch?
No.
No.
What was the American native?
Oh,
Navajo?
Navajo.
Nope.
What? Wait, say it again.
Kaupkun.
Oh.
Tongan.
Nope.
I have absolutely no idea.
Thai?
Tie.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
okay,
All
okay,
right.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
William has 2.
I'm so
Cecil has
annoyed.
what? 3?
That was.
I think-
Yes, 3.
yeah,
I
two-
think so.
3 to 2
And
to-
Manny.
and
Manny's got 0.
I thought we
0.
had didn't
Okay.
Manny get 1?
No.
No.
Okay, here's the next one. We're down to 6. Mayo. Maio. Manny?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I don't even have a list. I'm just remembering. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there's Zulu, Navajo, Tongan,
would say-
Persian,
I would-
Dutch, and Portuguese.
Oh, let's do Portuguese.
No.
Say again? I've forgotten it already.
Mayo.
Mayo. Navajo.
No.
Okay.
Zolo?
Zulu.
Zulu.
Zulu? I keep saying it wrong.
No.
No? Okay.
Dutch.
Nope.
Tongan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
finally that
All
one's off the
right.
list.
Okay.
I thought everything was.
Okay. William Mamnoon. MAM apostrophe NOON. Mamnoon.
Portuguese?
Nope.
Uh,
Manny doesn't have a list.
Navajo.
No.
Zulu.
No.
Okay.
Otherwise known as. What is
Zulu.
Okay, William?
Dutch?
No.
No.
Oh, what's the other thing on the list?
Mamnoon.
There's
Portuguese.
Persian, Dutch, and Portuguese. And
Oh, I would say Persian.
Persian. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Manny's on the
Manny's on the board.
Yay.
Yes. Okay, so we're down to 4.
Okay.
Portuguese, Zulu, Navajo, Dutch. Okay. And let's see. This'll bedankt. 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 Bedankt.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's pretty obvious.
You? Oh, really? Well, you should have gotten this, Manny.
How to make Sissel feel stupid.
The only one I'm annoyed that I messed up was the Thai one. Because I've heard a lot of Thai speaking. So, but okay, say it again, please.
Bedankt.
Dutch.
I can spell it.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And thanks
Very
to
good,
thanks
very
to
good.
Paula for sending me that one.
Oh,
Bedankt.
nice.
Okay. And down to 3. William. Obrigado.
Portuguese.
Yes.
All right.
Good
very
job,
good, very
William.
good, very good.
Okay,
Good job,
down to
good job.
2.
All right, Manny, we got this.
Yeah.
This almost sounds like somebody's laughing. Ah, hee hee.
Oh, that's Navajo.
Yeah. You know that? Okay, Navajo.
Navajo.
And now, can I just do this one for William just
Sure.
because
So
to
he
see
has
if he can pronounce
Is that a pity point,
he can
Dave?
finally pronounce this correctly. Nigiabonga. Seriously.
Are you pronouncing it correctly, Dave?
Yeah. Nigiabonga.
Negia Bonga.
There's only one left.
To pronounce it right.
He's hesitating
said it
because
like 3 times.
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
I walked into a I walked into a wall and said "Niagabonga."
you'd say thank you to the wall. You
May I have
walked into a day.
May I have the origin of that word, please?
I know I'm gonna say.
Just say it, it's okay.
Solo.
Zorro,
Zulu.
the masked legend.
Zulu. What's the one from It's a Wonderful Life? Is Zuli's Petals, or what was her name?
Oh,
Zuzu's. I think it was
Zuzu.
Zuzu.
Was it Zuzu?
I think
No.
that was her nickname,
Was it
Zuzu, right?
Zuzu?
Yeah.
Was
I don't
it?
remember.
I thought it was not Zulu.
You watch it every year, Dave.
I know.
Zulu's Petals.
By the way, Adrian says, ahihi, Michael Jackson.
All right, that brings us to an end to another. Kind of went a little bit over time today, but I think it was all worth it. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for the comments from everybody.
Got it.
And we'll see you in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
For the next Back to the Father. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget the Share-a-thon begins Tuesday, the 29th of November, 7 o'clock a.m. God bless you. Expect a lot of...
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.